playing some Joust. Now, normally I have a partner with me whenever I'm playing Joust, but he's presently busy playing Rainbow Six Siege with some other friends. So I'm going it alone. Probably the biggest mistake of my life. For those of you who are wondering, I placed in Bronze 5, so you take that and say with it what you will. I don't think I'm a bad player. I just think I get shipped with bad players whenever I match up. Maybe I'm just unlucky. Or maybe I am bad. Who knows? Those of you who are watching, you can tell me whether or not I really suck. Right now, we are going to be waiting for the Joust game, which can take forever. So, until that time, here I am. Nope, didn't change my YouTube username. It's been like this for at least 6 years. But yeah, it's always been Kiba and all. Hi, I'm Kiba. Welcome to the stream. I play just random games. You'll hear me talk a lot of crap. Usually about writing and fanfiction and what have you. That's where I got my start, was writing fanfiction. League of Legends fanfiction, to be specific. Unfortunately, I don't have a computer, so I can't play League anymore. Otherwise, I would totally stream League. I think I recognize your username. You might have jumped into a Skyrim stream of mine earlier on. Yeah, it's been a while since I last streamed. Maybe 2 weeks-ish. Sounds about right. So yeah, here we are, just waiting for Joust. Man, that timer sure does go slow. In the meantime, please, I don't know, listen to some smooth jazz or something. I've been working on some stuff in my writing, not much. I'm working on my Skyrim fanfiction. Which, for those of you who don't know me, I can write some pretty dirty fanfiction, and this Skyrim fanfiction is about a pair of siblings that are both Dovahkiin, who have relations. The sister is a priestess of Dibella, and the brother is a member of the Fighters Guild in Cyrodiil. And through some shenanigans, the sister ended up making him sweet rolls that are laced with moon sugar, and they ended up getting teleported to Skyrim in the middle of, like, drugged out sex. So, yeah. Right now, they're going through the companion questline, and Garth, who's the older brother, has just become a werewolf. Robin is blissed out of her mind because Garth just had, like, werewolf sex with her. And now he's with Ayla, going through Hangman's Gallow, or Hangman's Gallow, is that it? Gallow Rock, chasing after Skewer. I hate Joust queues. They take forever. But once you start to, like, get into the queues, it starts going faster. At least that's the pattern I've noticed. Like, it can take, like, 10 minutes the first time, and then the second time it'll take, like, 2. But yeah, let's talk about Smite instead of Skyrim, since I'm not playing Skyrim anymore. Typically, I'm a mage specialist. Support, like hell, has my highest mastery with 7. Basically, I hop around gods a lot, as you might be able to tell. So I don't have any mastery 10 gods, but Aphrodite and Hell are my 2 mains. My worst is probably Guardian, though it's been a while since I've played Guardian. Well, I've been picking up Guardian more. I've been trying to, at least. Just so that way, because I want to have a good character for every role. So, like, Neath is my go-to hunter. My Guardian I'm terrible with Athena. I just cannot get her, and her voice bothers me so much. But Sylvanas I'm pretty good with. I've been practicing Artio and Khepri also, so in case you guys haven't been able to tell, I kind of play support roles more than I do offensive roles. Daji is my assassin, and then I think that's he's a warrior. Amaterasu is my warrior main, and with Shock as a close second. So yeah, whenever we get into the Joust game, you guys are going to hear me rage a lot, and I'm probably going to say some pretty mean things to my team, but I'm only doing that because they can't hear me. If they could hear me, then they'd probably be very upset with me, and I'd probably get banned. But I try not to be so salty in the game. At least, I try not to be so salty in the game. So I'm salty out of the game instead, because that's healthier. You know. It's like, take me back to the 80s when people played video games for fun. Not really. That was a slow time. We had games like Pac-Man and Asteroid, which are fun for about 10 minutes. And then you're like, I really don't want to play Pac-Man anymore. And honestly, like, you could fit Pac-Man on, like, I don't know, a floppy disk. We got Flash games that can emulate, like, all of Pac-Man. So, whenever we play, I'm going to probably use the fill role. Just because I found that people are often inconsiderate, and whenever you call mage, they won't necessarily respect that. So, I mean, really, I can play anything, because eventually, unless the team is focusing me, I am typically pretty good at surviving. And that's not to say that I don't go in on team fights or anything like that, because I do, but it's more that I have a pretty good sense of that push and pull rhythm that most MOBAs have. The same cannot be said for my team. The thing that you'll hear me complain most about are tanks, because I absolutely hate it whenever someone is playing Guardian and isn't guarding anybody. Especially whenever it's, the squishy mage that they're not guarding. And then, of course, everyone's just like, oh, look, there's the healer, and they all jump the healer, and your Guardian doesn't do anything. It's the worst. I also am not a fan of Opwuk. Like, dude's OP. Straight up. That's why he's like my go-to ban when it comes to banning gods. Zeus is pretty bad, but he's not as bad. But Opwuk is just, ugh. Like, the fact that his name sounds like you're kind of vomiting is accurate. Other people I typically ban are Colin, who's pretty crazy, and then the third one I try to, like, kind of guess as to which direction they're going and find the most OP one there. A lot of people complain about Loki. Honestly, I don't get the hype. Like, there are some Lokis where it's like, oh my god, Loki, just go away, but I've never really had, like, a sense of, please just stop existing in this game with Loki. Heboa, or sorry, yeah, I call him Hebo, but apparently that's not how you pronounce his name. Heboa is another one. He's freaking annoying as hell. Okay, we are now approaching the 10-minute queue. Wow, this is taking a long time. So yeah, let's see where to go from here. I mean, I guess people just don't play Joust that much on PS4, And maybe that's my fault. Maybe I'm lame for playing MOBA on a console. But I don't have a computer. So if I did, I would totally play League of Legends and stream that, because I like League of Legends. Admittedly, the lore is stupid now, because they botched it all. But, I mean, Smite really doesn't, have great lore either. Especially in the... So I know that Smite doesn't technically have a lore, but, like, whenever they did the Odyssey this last year, it was crazy stupid. Basically, the entire thing is Ares, like, going through and throwing a tantrum like a teenage girl. He ends up coming to Ganesh's temple at one point, and Ganesh is the god of obstacles. So he tries to open the temple, and he can't open the doors. And Ganesh is, like, sitting at the top of his temple, and he's like, "Listen up, Ares. If you continue to go down this path that you're going, and you kill Anubis, then the world is going to end." And Ares is like, "I don't care. I want to kill Anubis anyway." And then Ganesh is like, "Okay, guess I can't stop you." And so Ganesh opens the doors for him, and then him and Izanami burn down the temple. I mean, really, Ganesh should not be called the god of obstacles. He should be called, like, I don't know, the god of inconvenience. I don't understand how you can, like, force someone not to be able to open your temple doors, but then be like, "Okay, you can open them now." Because it just... Why? They also made Hell a villain, which means that they don't know anything about Norse mythology. Which is part of the reason why I didn't like Thor Ragnarok. I know. Crucify me. Oh, what do you mean you don't like Thor Ragnarok? It's one of the best Marvel movies. No. I will pass on that. I will pass on the fact that they ruin Planet Hulk. I will pass on the fact that they don't know jack about Norse mythology. And, yeah, I'll just pass on that movie in general. I'm not a big fan of the Thor franchise. Haven't seen Black Panther yet, but I really want to see it. Planning on seeing it this weekend with Remy, who's my girlfriend. Or I say she's my girlfriend, but it's complicated. Anyway, wow, we are just really waiting in this queue. Almost 13 minutes now. It's like no one else playing Joust. That's crazy. I wonder if you guys can see my rank screen. Yeah, okay, there we go. Look at me, I'm in Bronze 5. Aren't I great? With 86 tribute points. So last night, Gold Trip is right here is my partner. And last night we were at 99 TP. 1 point away. And then we got paired up with this kid, and I don't know, like, he was a mage main. First off, he insta-locked. That's never a good sign. He immediately wanted the mage role, and so he took Zeus, which normally is like, okay, that's pretty cool, you're Zeus. But then he never did anything. He just kind of like followed us around every now and then. Whenever he would die, or whenever any of us would die, he would spam like, "You rock, cancel that," like salty, toxic players do. And we ended up getting him twice in a row on our team, and it just dropped us. It was awful, because up until that point, we were playing with this guy here, Rick and City, and he was awesome. He played Hunter, Gold played Discordia, because he's also a mage main, and I was on Guardian, playing Kazimbro and some others. And it was going really, really well up until Rick and City had to leave, because we were playing at like 1 o'clock in the morning. And so he left. And that was fun, Won like at least 3-6 matches in a row. And then all of a sudden we just get this one Zeus kid and we botch. Like, he fed so hard. I think at one point he had 9 deaths because he kept trying to initiate 1v3s. Like an idiot. So, yeah. And of course he'd just be toxic about it the entire match. I'm sorry, I wasn't playing a Guardian, I was playing Daji. Gold was playing the Guardian because he was Gold is good at like 2 roles primarily, and that's Mage and Guardian, specifically offense Mage and quote-unquote Guardian. I say that because whenever he plays a Guardian, he doesn't play a Guardian in a defensive role. He plays a Guardian in an offensive role, which is something that I hassle him about from time to time. Like, whenever he's playing a mirror specifically, it's like he builds Blink on a mirror and blinks into the enemy team and freezes them and just beats the crap out of them, steals people's kills, that sort of thing. And so it'll be like, oh, yeah, man, you're, like, doing a really good job guarding the team. Congratulations, you know. They can't hurt us if they're dead. But, so yeah, I am working towards getting the hell out of bronze. My goal is to eventually get to gold at some point this season, even though that's probably not going to happen, especially whenever it takes upwards of 17 minutes to find a game. And I'm in solo queue. It should be really easy to find me a game, but no. You know, Joust. And, I prefer Joust. I'm not a fan of Duel, because gods are ridiculous. And 1v1, you can really exploit things. You know, like, Mage class just doesn't work out, and as a support main, can't support anybody but yourself, and that doesn't work out. So then we have, you know, Conquest, which, for me, it's like one bad teammate can ruin a game, okay? And in Conquest, you've got more odds of finding a bad teammate than in Joust, because Joust only has 3 people on a team, Conquest has 5. So it's kind of like playing Russian roulette with more bullets. Except for you're the only one person playing and you're by yourself. Wow! We are 18 minutes into this stream and have not gotten into a game yet. Woohoo! Man, this is annoying. I've played some qualifying games for Conquest. It's not gone well. As you can see, 2-6. Been playing with Gold, and it's just been one thing after another in there. Junglers who refuse to gank lane, and like I said, I primarily play support. He typically takes solo lane or mid lane. And it's always, I don't want to be like that guy who's like, it's always someone else's fault, but it sure as heck feels like it's always somebody else's fault. But hey, you know, that's one of the good things about streaming is that whenever you stream, you know, you're showing yourself to the world. Alright, if we hit the 20-minute queue, I'm going to leave queue and queue up again, and maybe that will help. I don't know why. Sometimes it does. Maybe there's an error with Smite servers or something. I wonder if, like, I don't know. I'm sure that this is not a problem on PC. But I don't know. It used to be really quick to find, like, ranked Joust games. Like, it used to not take any time at all, but now it seems like it takes forever every time that you start up the game. But hey, maybe it'll get faster now that we've requeued. As you can see, they have new store stuff, Playful Bunny Noir, and whatnot. I have the God Pack, so I can play any god. Countess Chang'e. Isn't that more for, like, I don't know, Halloween? Why the heck are they using that skin in Easter? When she could totally have an Easter skin, being Chang'e and having a bunny. You know. It's the Save the Earth bundle. Breezy Chibi. Pot of Gold, Playful Bunny, Spring Holiday Chest. Oh, they also have, let's see here, Grand Slam, Cyberpunk, Solstice, Nature's Guardian, Rift Shaker, Chocolate, Mountain Man, Stargazer, and Feaster Bunny skin, or the Spring Ward. But it stinks, because that's not the one that I would want. I would really like to have the Bun Bun Nox skin, but that's just me. Not that it matters, because I've only got 30 gems, and I don't plan on spending any money because I'm poor and broke. Then they have the Adorable box, the Winter's Athletics chest that I don't know who would buy. Not many. Odyssey's Greatest Hits, which are And now the Horrific chest, which I have almost all the skins for Hell, with the exception of the one that I want, which is the Chaos and Order skin, which of course is limited, so, you know, it's not going to happen. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, I'm sorry, I don't have Jingle Hell either. Yeah, here's Order and Chaos. So this is her as Order, and she switches over to Chaos. It's a really cool skin. The effects look really nice. You know, I like the animation, like, texture for her skin. It's just a lot of fun. It's just a really fun skin. And I mean, that booty, you know. Jingle Hell I'm less impressed with, because it just kind of seems like a super bad afterthought on her default. It's like, hey, I know, let's put a Santa hat on her and, like, string up some Christmas lights and, you know, then we'll sell it as a Christmas skin. And, yeah, just not impressive in the slightest. Like, lazy game developing. I typically play with Expelled or with Solstice, primarily Expelled. Gotta work towards that Legendary and Diamond, yo. So yeah. It's another reason why I kind of wish that Gold was here. Gold has a bunch of skin boosters, and it's always fun playing with those. So let's see, we're now 4 minutes into the queue. What even is this? Like, typically at this point, Gold and I get bored and we end up going into Conquest, because Conquest queues are much shorter. But I'm not a fan of Conquest as much as I am of Joust. It just, I don't know. I like small teams, which is probably the reason why I like support the support role in Conquest, because then it's like I have a little mini team right there in lane. But yeah, man, it sure is taking a while. And you know what? It's like after high school should be let out, so all the tweens don't have an excuse. But last night, like 2 o'clock in the morning, just one after the other, like we had 3-minute queue times, like at most. Just it's ridiculous that it's a problem. But hey, at least we don't randomly get kicked out anymore like we used to. I did end up getting the Daji pack. So I got Anime Daji, and I have Maid Amaterasu, because I am a total weeb. I also have the anime soundtrack, which you guys will constantly hear me like humming to whenever I'm playing, because I love it. So yeah. Yesterday we found out there's a secret achievement in Smite where if everyone is a pirate, you get an achievement at the end of the game. It's like, yar, I'm a pirate, or something like that. Or it's called the Jolly Roger. That's what it's called. So yeah, those of you who haven't played, who haven't gotten that achievement yet, get a group of friends together, get a skin booster of some sort, and grab an all-pirate team. It's a lot of fun. Ours was Pirate Neath, Pirate Kali, and... oh, I can't remember who I was. I think I was a Pirate Guardian of some sort. Let me see if looking through the Guardians refreshes my memory. I know Sobek's got a pirate skin, but I don't think that's what I played. Dang it, I cannot remember what the heck I played. Oh, no, I'm sorry, I was a mage. I was playing mage. I was playing Pirate Poseidon. Where is it? There it is. Poseidon. Dreadbeard Poseidon. That was fun. I'm not great with Poseidon, and they were focusing me really hard in that game, but we ended up winning anyway, so that was nice. That was just a casual match, though. It wasn't ranked. Like, we wouldn't pick characters that we don't know in ranked. It's just a bad idea. All around for everyone. Here we go with the really long queue times again. Like, what the heck is this? Come on now. So tomorrow is the Writers Guild meeting. I'm currently a member of the Woodlands Writing Guild, which, for those of you who don't know, the Woodlands is a city a bit north of Houston. It's kind of a, like, the story is actually really interesting. So, these people who own the Woodlands, they got a huge amount of federal money for building the Woodlands. But one of the conditions was that they had to make affordable housing for the poor. So the entire neighborhood is full of like twists and turns. The entire city is full of like twists and turns and like a whole bunch of like pine trees everywhere. So it's really easy to get lost. The entire reason for that is because they use the money to build really nice, fancy houses, and then they hid all of the poor, cheap, rundown houses behind those in different areas. So whenever you're just driving through, it's hard to find those areas. It's hard to find the kind of poor, like, housing there. So the Woodlands has a reputation of, like, people who are kind of posh and arrogant. But the funny thing is that a majority of the people who are in the Woodlands Riding Guild don't live in the Woodlands. They live in the outer-lying cities around the Woodlands, so like Conroe, Tomball, and, you know, Montgomery, Magnolia, those cities. And we just commute to the Woodlands. This last year, I was appointed president. And, you know, I can hear your silent applause. Thank you very much. I love it. It's been going great. We're about to release our 2018 anthology, which last year, basically what we do with the anthologies is we work on them all the previous year, and then we release them early in the year for the anthology year that it is. So, for example, once we've released the 2018 anthology and settled on a theme for the 2019 anthology, then we'll be working on 2019 all the way up until like October, which is whenever we finally compile everyone's work, you know, and stuff like that. We submit them to judges. The judges check our stuff, and the judges are a third party. It's not like I'm judging them, okay? So it's not like... So that way everyone can participate, even the board of directors. And it's been... I admittedly inherited quite a few problems from the guild, from the previous president. Bobby is amazing. She is, like, a great president, definitely reliable, but we had a lot of members of the guild who, lashed back at her because, and I think this is dumb, but because Bobby was following the rules of our guild. We found out a whole bunch of tax stuff that we had to do in order to become non-profit again, because the people who used to be in charge weren't doing it. Stuff like that. We had to change rules because people were getting on Facebook and bad-mouthing us on our guild page, which, of course, is not the place for that. Or at least they tried to badmouth us, but we already moderate the comments, and since we didn't allow their comment to be posted, there were cries from some of the, you know, older generation who were like, censorship! And it's like, no, it's not censorship. It's literally, like, we don't want people coming into the guild page and their first thing that they see is this guy talking crap, you know? Because that's not what it's for. It's for, you know, alerting people when we're meeting, things like that, you know. Hey, here's the new social event that we're having, you know. Hey, guys, you're looking for a good article on this, you know, thing for your writing? Here it is. Stuff like that, you know. We don't use it to self-promote, so published authors don't try to sell their book there, because that just gets annoying and old. And we don't, obviously we don't badmouth the guild, because that's not the place to do it, you know. And so, this guy, who's, I'm not going to mention his name, because honestly, I barely remember his name, but it's not an issue anymore. It's been dealt with. He started attacking Bobby directly, and not like physically attacking, but verbally attacking Bobby directly. And so he was told to leave the guild, and that if he wanted to come back, all he had to do was write an apology. Now, here's the thing about me and apologies, okay? Like, it's an apology. It's like, even if you don't mean it, you can write an apology. Anyone can do it. It's not hard, you know? But he wouldn't do it, which, to me, you know, like, something I've kind of noticed about some of the members of the older generation is, you know, they call millennials entitled. Like, but in reality, like, whenever you, like, see someone, you know, in some sort of customer service job who's, like, screaming at the cashier about, you know, whatever price or, you know, whatever discount, knowing full well that the cashier can't do anything about it, It's not a millennial. It's never a millennial who does that. It's always, an older generation. And that was one of the problems that we had, was we had people of an older generation who felt entitled to things outside of the rules, which, just me and my personality, is a no-no. The rules are black and white, Like, it doesn't matter if I know you, have known you for 10 years, and this person that comes into the guild is brand spanking new. We all have to follow the same rules. And it applies to everyone. It applies to the board of directors, too. Board of directors have to follow the same rules. We're not allowed to badmouth other members of Facebook, on our Facebook page. We're not allowed to, do anything that other members are not allowed to do. So when people started, oh, hey, Rick and City, how's it going, man? Perfect timing. So I've been in Joust queue for 15 minutes, man. And before that, I was in it for 20. I'm presently on my stream, but feel free to talk. I mean, it's not a big deal. It'll be nice to have a conversation.
Hold on,
All right, no problem.
I'm sorry. I left my wallet in the car yesterday.
But yeah. But anyways, this guy in the guild caused quite a stir. He was a friend of some of the older members of the committee, and they were like, well, I don't understand why, he's being punished, which, honestly, he wasn't being punished. He was being told to apologize. Which I think was perfectly reasonable. He was very rude and very cruel to Bobby, who was our president at the time, and then is all surprised when the board of directors is like, yo, you need to get out. That's just how it works, If you don't follow the rules, you don't get to play. That's how it works. But no, this guy didn't like that. So he kind of turned a lot of the older members against Bobby and the board from last year. So much so that we had our treasurer, being writers and artists and whatnot, we are the tortured soul. We are the suffering. It's all great art comes from, tragedy and pain. As such, we can get stressed a lot. And for last year's board, that stress was through the roof. The treasurer ended up quitting writing altogether and leaving about halfway through the year. So I stepped up and took her place. Our secretary stepped down for this upcoming year because she doesn't want to be part of the board anymore, which I completely understand. It's a lot of work, and she's got a family to raise. She's got a daughter, and a lot of family stuff on the side, and she's a publisher, so she's got a lot of work to do. So I totally get it. And then Bobby stepped down as our president because she was honestly, poor thing, was working herself to death. All right. So I took the president role this year. We got a new secretary, Todd, who's great. Steven is vice president again, and he is awesome. Honestly, I would not be able to do this without Steven. He is just super great. But our membership is lower. We also had to jack up the guild dues, which was originally $20 a year. Now it's $40 a year, and we do comp for pastime. So if someone joins in halfway through the year, we're not going to charge them the full 40. We're going to charge them the 20. Things like that. Which, all in all, for what you get out of it, it pays for itself. Like, I can tell you that since I've joined the guild, my writing has improved at least tenfold from what it was. You might not see it in my fanfiction because I write a bit more casually whenever I write my fanfiction, but otherwise, like, it's been great. So right now we're trying to find new members. A bunch of the old members left, which honestly, I don't mean to be a jerk, but you know, good riddance to deadweight. Like, if you're not going to help the guild progress, then you're holding the guild back, and that's not okay. But we've had a lot of people, we've established committees this year, so now people can help us work on the different projects. So we have like a marketing committee who talks to me, the president, and we're like, okay, what are some events that we can go to? You know, what do we need in order to publish this? You know, how do we need to get this done? You know, so on and so forth. We have, you know, ones for, you know, our anthology. We've got ones for running the meetings. We've got ones for just about everything. The board of directors has become an executive thing, you know, rather than a we do everything, because the board of directors doesn't get paid. The board of directors is a completely voluntary thing. Because, frankly speaking, at least since I've been in the guild, which has been about coming up on 2 years now, it has been losing money. Because we haven't been able to go to conventions, we haven't been able to, you know, sell our books in public as much as we sell them, you know, online on Amazon, which, you know, we don't have a marketing team, so we don't really have someone who handles all that stuff. But we're getting there. And I know I'm, like, rambling at this point. Risk, are you going to join? I don't think he's here. Alright, so let's get back into that ranked Joust queue. And we'll just not be that guy. We'll I went ahead and ruined the party. Just so that way you guys don't like can't hear us like private conversations and whatever. So yeah, that's sorry to unload all of that guild stress on you guys, but that's what I've been up to. It's been good. I like the guild. The guild has helped me through a lot of tough times. I don't always get along with my family. I say we're not very close. Recently, they've been trying to, you know, kind of get themselves back into my life after a bunch of stuff, you know, made that not a thing. And slowly but surely, I've been kind of going back into my family. But the guild has definitely been, you know, the family I chose, not the family I need, not the family I was born to. And they've been great. Honestly, there are people in it who I would consider lifelong friends, you know, like ride or die. Whenever I lost my job last year from Focus, I quit the school because they demoted me to, they didn't demote me. I had to go down to part-time because of budget cuts. But, you know, whenever I lost my job, they were like, hey man, if you need a place to live, you can, you know, I've got this RV on my property, you can just stay there, you know, things like that. Great people. You know, this year they've been huge help, and everyone is super supportive. And, you know, that's not to say that I get along with everybody in the guild, because there are some members that, like, I don't get along with, you know, that I just butt heads with. But, even those members, you know, like, there's a certain level of respect that's shared amongst the members, and I like that, and I'm happy about that. So, yeah. I just did a huge rant on on all of my, guild problems. But I mean, hey, we're just staring at the queue anyway, so what else are we gonna do? I think after 5 minutes, I'm probably going to switch over to Conquest just so that way you guys aren't bored to tears listening to me talk while we're waiting for a game. My God. Coming up is Camp NaNoWriMo. For those of you who don't know what that is, it's the National Novel Writing Month camp. So National Novel Writing Month is in November, and the rules are you have to start a new manuscript, and you have to write 50,000 words over the course of 30 days. Which, while that's not always the length of a full-size novel, it's a really good start. Last year I didn't get to complete those 50,000 words because I was under stress from my job and I didn't have time to write because I was too busy coming home and sleeping for like 12 hours just to like escape the world. But now it's, now I don't have that job anymore. So yay, one of the benefits of being fired. It's been nice. I didn't get along well with my boss. So now I'm looking for a new job. Obviously, during the period of searching for my job, I also am doing other stuff like streaming and whatnot. And man, what is up with this queue? My God, we're like at what? 45? Yeah, there we go. I can see it from the elapsed time. 46 minutes now. What in the hell? Should not be this hard for a single player on Joust. Then again, it might be that I'm on the American server, and whatever. Most Americans have a computer. Pity me, I do not. I have a Chromebook, which, for those of you who don't know, and this isn't like to badmouth Google, because, Google owns YouTube and I don't want them to remove my channel, the Chromebook is worthless. Can't download programs on it. You can only download things from the Google Play Store, which would be great, except for you can't download things that are on the Android Play Store, only on the Google OS Play Store, which is infinitely less than what's on the Android Play Store. Other than that, you can surf the internet, and that's pretty much it. You get access to Google Docs, you get access to Google Drive, all that cool stuff that you get for free on any other computer. I like the Chromebook for writing because I basically can write anywhere, online or offline, and it saves it locally to my computer until I get to a place where there's Wi-Fi, and then it uploads it to my drive and updates it that way. So basically, I can write anywhere, which is awesome. But everything else is a real hindrance. It's a real annoying little drawback. Alright, looks like we're going into Conquest. I am super sorry, guys. I know that this is, not fun to watch. So we're going to get into Conquest and see how that works out. Conquest typically is a much shorter queue. So we'll see how that works out for us. Sorry for those of you who are watching. I mean, it doesn't say that anybody's watching my stream right now, but if you are watching, I apologize that it's been 50 minutes and we haven't gotten into a game yet. Get on it, Smite. What the hell, guys? I wonder if, people that are in, a party have a higher priority in the queue. It's entirely possible. Then, of course, the worst part of it all is whenever, there's, you get into, the game and everyone's accepting, and there's one guy who went AFK for, 2 minutes to go grab, a drink or a sandwich or whatever, and he misses it. And, because then everyone gets reset in the queue. And, Lord, that's infuriating. Could just be, there's not a lot of people playing ranked, which is annoying. But hey, this is one of the biggest obstacles of climbing out of bronze hell. That and crappy teammates. I think my friend Gold is still playing Rainbow Six Siege, which, I'm sorry, unpopular opinion, game's overrated. I've never been a fan of the Rainbow Six games. Never been a fan of Tom Clancy in general. But, whatever. To each their own. I'm more of a fantasy kind of guy, so I like Smite, I like Overwatch, I like games that have a, fantastical, whimsical element to it. But, man, okay. It's okay. This is like fishing, but there's no prize at the end of it. I mean, you can't get fried catfish by waiting for 10 minutes in queue. Man, what is up with this? I wonder if there is options. There's user interface, gameplay, controller. Let's see here. Profile.